Alright, I just got out of James Gunn's Superman movie. Let's talk about it. So Superman's about an alien from Krypton that crash lands on Earth and grows up to become the superhero Superman with the secret identity Clark Kent. My hype for this movie was really high because James Gunn made Guardians of the Galaxy 1 to 3, the Suicide Squad, and the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, which was all really good. So I was curious to see his take on this movie. I was really expecting him to not really have it fully balanced out because his comedy doesn't really work well with Superman, but surprising enough, it kind of did. The tone of this movie was different than you'd expect, especially coming from the dark Man of Steel tone to this James Gunn Superman tone. So it is vibrant, bright, and it does kind of give off Guardians vibes, just mainly with Superman. The movie actually worked. Taking the aspects of seeing it from a comic book side, it was very comic booky. So like everything was very like, I'm looking for the word. It was just very like cartoonish, like watching the Justice League cartoon, like the Superman cartoon from the 90s. It was really just felt like that in live action. I do gotta say that the CGI, I was expecting it to be a bit better, especially since James Gunn started filming a bit earlier to stop filming earlier to give the visual effects team more time to polish it. So I did think that it was gonna be more like it was supposed to look cleaner. It looked good, but just the CGI was just a bit wonky. The parts that stood out to me in this movie was really everything that David did with Superman. Granted that they somewhat made this Superman look more vulnerable, which was an interesting take on that to show that he does get beat up like a lot, sadly. But David was really Superman. He really showed with his saving. He saved a lot of people. He even saved a lot of animals. Like he really was very hopeful and very joyful as his character. A lot of the characters in this movie had their time to shine, and they really stood out in their own different ways. But the main ones that really stood out was Mr. Terrific, amazing character, one of the top 3 minds in DCU, well, just DC Comics in general. Mr. Terrific, everything that he makes is his own tech. He was a very good standout character, and so was Lex Luthor. Nicholas Holtz's Lex I enjoyed his performance because how he played the menacing, just the obsessed, the hateful. He was a number 1 hater. I really enjoyed how he did that. And we can't forget David, just how he crushed the role. And it was just everything that you'd feel and want from Superman. There's moments in this movie like there's a interview in this movie that kind of is somewhat long between the two main characters, but it gets deep, and it really it works for as long as it is, and it doesn't feel like it drags or anything. Most people will go into this movie comparing it to Man of Steel because that was our previous live action movie Superman, and with the whole background about how the Snyderverse was supposed to continue and how it should have been restored but it didn't, and now a lot of the Snyder fans are in hate for this movie. So a lot of people, there are some people that are probably seeing this movie in comparison to like Man of Steel and trying to see like the differences, when really you can just see that this one's just more comic booky, just more out there, and you can see like the tone difference between the two. Because this Superman movie by James Gunn, it's really for the comic book fans. It's really for the ones that are just like, I've read Superman comics for so long. I see how he is in the comics. I love what he stands for and everything that he is, and this really just puts it straight in your face. Like it's good how they really show the characteristics of him, how they go in the characteristics of even the other characters that I haven't mentioned, like Guy Gardner Green's Lantern, his attitude, just him being how he is, somewhat of an a-hole. Like they really grasped that. With Kendra Sanders' Hawk Girl, with Metamorpho, we should have had more of him though. Like everybody that we saw, it was a good interpretation of them. And before I forget, for people that really want to see this movie, there's this book. It's like the prequel series of the movie. So this is just talking about everything that happened within like the 3 years, because this movie takes place Clark's 3rd year of being Superman. This movie will be something that a lot of you would most likely rewatch and most likely enjoy on the second watch. So this movie, it's a good movie, but it's not flawless. So it's really just, it's solid with some snacks. So if you like my vibe, comment below.